Hey guys, today I wanted to tell you about secrets that are our enemy in life keeping from all of us, especially the elect 144. Okay, um, in order for you to enter heaven, you have to be one with God. Okay, how you become one with God? Our human body, unconscious, and our all creation are basically governed by the stars. The lady of the star, Berbello, basically is associated with the sun and the moon, are all the stars. Okay, so if you look at so I'm trying to really deliver a message here, and I'm thinking how I'm gonna do that. Okay, so if I sound a little bit scattered, because I'm trying to think how I'm gonna deliver this message. Okay, if you look, we're gonna talk about Islam for a second. If you look at Islam logo, the sun on the moon, right? If you look at the logos, the sun and the moon, like it's a crescent and it has a star. If you look at the Turkey flag, it has this moon crescent and it has a star in the middle, like not a middle, where the crescent has this little sharp edges, whatever, meet the star is there, right? If you look at it, you would think this a presentation of two, the sun and the moon. Okay? So what I want you to look at, yes, there are a sun and a moon, right? But that logo, it has three different aspects. There is a sun and a moon, right? But the crescent, it had this round hollow area where they put the star. Okay, the sun and the moon, the hollow is the crescent is presenting the moon. This hollow area in the middle and the crescent, it's the sun. Okay, and the star is your pineal gland. You understand? So the sun and the moon, your left side is the moon, which is, they call it the left path. In occult, they call it the left path. Okay? Why they demonize the left path? Because they don't want you to become one with God. They want to demonize that, so they don't want you to don't want you to be one with God. You understand? The whole thing was done is very deceptive. Okay, so I explain to you now what the Islam presentation of anything it has to do with Islam is this three aspects. So I now explain to you the sun and moon, and that star is your pineal gland. Okay, so if you put the star in your pineal gland, your left side is left path is the moon. It's a divine feminine. Your right side is the sun. The Islam logo is unification with God. You understand? So now you get it? When you unify the left path and right path, when you unify the sun and the moon, and they meet in your pineal gland, you are one with God. You understand? The seat of God is your pineal gland. You know that. So just go look it up. What I'm trying to tell you is the seed of God is your pineal gland. Becoming one, unifying the sun and the moon, the left path and right. The sun and the moon, your left, and right unified in your pineal gland. They said, okay, if you look at some information, you go on Google and search the elects. What did it say? It said, I think he said it in one of the verse in the Bible. It says, no one will enter heaven unless you are one with God. You know? In our entire life, these people work around the clock to disconnect us from the source of all creation. And I'm going to prove to you how they do it. Today, I looked, then there's a number that came, synchronized number. I looked them online, and it says this number, you will, you will be presented your divine purpose in life. You understand? And I just said to myself, but it's always been that way. Since my targeting began, always the angels, they're communicating, you know, God is communicating. God communicates in numbers. You know, there's a, you know, a chapter in the Bible called Numbers. God communicated with you in numbers. I had to learn that because I always used to look at numbers like, okay. Oh, it's very odd, all 6666777, you know, and I just didn't know what it meant. And I was trying to kind of figure out, you know, what God is trying to tell me. And then I started, every time I see a number, I look it up, what it means and stuff. But it's been like always, it happens. They tell me something, and it happened right away. They told me that I'm going to discover my divine purpose in life, and this came. So anyhow, that's why I'm explaining to you what was communicated with me. When you look at the planets, if you put the planets, if you look at the zodiac, what do you call it, signs, you need to do the zodiac wheel. You have to do the zodiac wheel. The top of the zodiac, the sun and moon are sitting on top. If you look at it. You just look it up online, just the zodiac wheel. You will see the sun and the moon on top. Okay? And then above the zodiacs, okay. So the sun and the moon, and then above the zodiac, the heaven, are your, is basically God, what God's actually presentation. When they call it heaven, basically God's sitting above the zodiac, okay? So we're gonna leave God on top of the wheel of the zodiac. And then the sun and the moon, you unifying this, it's a triangle, the sun and the moon, and then God on top, okay? So you're thinking each, you know, this triangle, each side presenting, one is the sun and one is the moon, and then God on top. And basically, that's, but you need to align, you know, your left path and right, which is the sun and the moon. You align both. How? You align both by connecting each corresponding zodiac, align them into a middle pillar. So now there's 3 pillars. You know, there's the 3 pillars, and unifying them by unifying them with a middle pillar. So if you look at the zodiac sign, you connect the left to the right, or right to the left, whatever. It's in a circle. You can just draw a line from, you know, left to right, or right to left, whatever, connecting each zodiac. That's how you connect. Aligned there, you align your 3 pillars, so 3 trees. Okay, you align them in the middle. So you say unifying, and then you call these planets corresponding. Okay. When you connect all of them together in a middle pillar, and then you are becoming one with God. This is how you do it. Okay, because I looked at it before and I didn't understand what it means and all this information. You know what? When targeting started, and I always like, oh, this is not my area of specialty. I'm not really interested in learning about the stars, and I'm always about design, and creating, and stuff like that. So was not really fitted into my area that I really enjoy, you know. So I felt like, learning by star, what is that going to benefit me? It has nothing to do with something that I'm really enjoy doing or whatnot. But then I've learned, the more I've gone through this targeting program, God is like wanted me to learn about it. You know what I'm saying? He wanted me to learn and stuff. And then when today they said, I'm gonna find my divine purpose in life. It was a clear indication that God was guiding me through this learning process. The enemy pushed us in this learning process because they hate us. You understand? And it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. Someone in this life you're gonna like, or someone in this life they're gonna dislike you for a reason or another. And just humans are in nature. They could look at you. It could be in a subway wearing something they don't like. They look at you up and down, judging you. And this is human nature. You understand? But what the enemy does, what people fail to understand, is a very vicious circle. It's full of hate and full of like direct attack toward ourselves, because they just hate how God created us. He elected us. He put us above all, And even if you look at the Last Supper, depicted by the Da Vinci, the stars. If you look at the stars or the planets, and then, the divinity in the middle. Those are the three divinity, like the three in the middle are the divinity. You understand? So one is governed by, it's Isa in Islam, but, Jesus, or, and one is governed by Virgin Mary, and then, on top. And basically, the chaos is governed by Virgin Mary, okay? And the chaos gave birth to Jesus, which is the light. You understand? So Jesus is the sun, Virgin Mary is the moon, and then God on top. The star of God. This is like this is the three aspects I just explained to you. So you have to be one with God. And the enemy, when the enemy attacked me, their intention to disconnect you, because from your divine purpose, it's a distraction, and the enemies were not created like us. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're always using big titles to describe who they are and to put them in top of the food chain, making us feel like we are nothing. When in reality, if we're not created superior, why would they hate us? If they're superior than us, why would you hate somebody who's less than you? Does that make sense to you? You have to understand the BS. They feed you. They feed, And that story about God created us as a slave race. Could you hear? It's like a better fairy tale. It's like lame excuse of a fucking, excuse my French, story, trying to present information, or an illusion, create an illusion of lies, of fabrication. This stuff, you have to read through the BS of these people, what they do. You know what I'm saying? I always said it. I felt it. I always said it. I felt like we're different. We're created different. And it came clear indication after being targeted in such a way of hate, trauma, and judgments on and just everything. It's not by misguided hate. It was direct, intentional act of assault toward us. You understand? You would not go through out of your way to do this to someone if they're less than you. You understand? So you have to know, you know what I mean? You're much superior because God honor you. God, when God, we are presented in Last Supper. You understand? If you look in that part of the triangle of Virgin Mary and Jesus, in the middle, you know what do you think is in the middle? The Virgo zodiac. You understand? You know what I'm saying? If God, they put us in such a hierarchy. You understand? Honor us. We think these people who are calling themselves all these big titles will not be depicted in zodiac, or I mean will not be depicted in the Da Vinci portrait. Would not be mentioned. They will not be mentioned anywhere in the Bible. These people who are attacking you, why do you think they're not being mentioned? You understand? Yeah, they've been mentioned. They've been mentioned like those who are having ill intentions, who know the truth, but they define orders and they like to create chaos and all ill intentions and hate toward humanity. They like to enslave humanity. God mentioned them many ways, but not a good way. You understand? Everything I just said to you, is it a good way? Did this God say they are the angel of God that who never defeated in any battles, or God honored them, made them the governor of universe? Did God mention them as that? In such, no, he did not. Okay? So God spoke about them, but it's not a good way when he talked about them. Yes, it's been mentioned, they've been mentioned, but it's not really been painted in a good light. You understand? Yeah. So now I just showed you how to become one with God. Now I'm gonna tell you where we actually live, where humanity live. Where do you think humanity live? Does humanity live outside of God or inside of God? Because God is encompassing. Everything is great and good. You know what I'm saying? You live inside of God. We don't live outside of God. You understand? So all these planets and stars encompassing. You just think of God and we live inside. We're part of aspect or manifestation of God, the consciousness. So now I'm telling you how long they've been doing this. They figured a way to disconnect humanity from the heavens. You would never have guessed, but I'm going to tell you how they disconnect you from heavens. When you understand it, you begin to wrap your head around it. You're going to, understand why they do it. They are waging a war on God. You understand? They are being, since creation, they are going at war with God. These people are governed by the fallen. Okay? By these angelic beings who have hate, ill intention toward us. You understand? Toward God. Anything has to do with God, they hate. You understand? So they're coming out of the way to, to hurt God's best creation. God honored humanity. Adam and Eve were honored. God's best creation. That's why he says, to Satan to kneel to Adam. When Satan says, no, I'm not kneeling. I am not kneeling, and he's, I will not. You created him from clay, and you created me from fire. So he felt like he was more superior, fire more than clay, whatnot. You know the story of how he's been, condemned and stuff. But that aspect of Satan, I'm not going to get into it now. That aspect of Satan is part of the creation. It's a divine force between good and evil. You understand? And this is how God balanced good and evil. You understand? There are two different aspects, but then unified into these three pillars, you become one. So good and evil unified, becoming one, you're merging good and evils. Just I'm not. I want you to understand when you are unifying both sides. Because you have to understand that no one is perfect. You know what I'm saying? All perfection is to God only. You know what I mean? Look at the how he created humanity, how perfected us. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's everything perfect. You know what I'm saying? Even though there's two aspects of that. So, but because there's a lot of names, been mentioned of how God described himself. He is merciful, his vengeance, there is always polarity between two aspects of God. You understand? So, but when unifying these two aspects, anything has to do with polarity, you're unifying those aspects. So, yes, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yes, the last thing I wanted to mention is how did it disconnect humanity from the heavens, from God? We receive information, or we get download of information from heaven through your crown chakra. Because when you're walking out in the street, the crown is above your head. The downloading information trickles down from the heaven into your crown, into your vessel. You understand? When how did this connect you? Because they are spraying the sky with these chemicals, and it has particles that falls on your crown. Those particles it has to do with your disconnection to God, because they don't want us to receive upgrades, downloads, light codes. You understand now? This war on God has been around for a long time. How long they've been spraying the sky with chemicals? You think it's just to geoengineering the rain and and all of that? And you think that what it is? Well, part of it, when they do it when it rains, and it rains on all this chemical on top of your crown and blah blah blah, and you understand the whole story. Okay, so this is pretty much all she wrote. This is all what I'm trying to tell you, how they do it. If you think about it and you understand why it's been done. These people have a problem with God. They're taking this problem on us. Okay, and which is, do not worry. God has the final say. These people are not gonna win a war with God. You know what I mean? They think they're gonna win. Like, you have another thing coming if you think you're gonna win. You know what I'm saying? You wake up. But anyhow, it's nice try, Bill. You're trying. You know what I mean? But for God, it's can change the plan, how the life is going to end. He can change how the ending of a book. You understand? Bible, Holy Quran, all these holy books. God can change that. It's been mentioned in Holy Quran. God says, I can change the ending of a book. So the ending of a book, yes, you wrote it. But God is because it came from God. God can change that story. So for them to think they have the final say, you're sadly mistaken. You know what I mean? They live in such a bubble that God is gonna burst. And anyhow, That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. Also, for target individuals, there are, you know what? I'm gonna do another video talk about this, okay? Because I think it's blah. You know, I talked a lot about this, and I'm just kind of broke it down to the T, and just to kind of to explain to you what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna do another video. Okay, which remind me what another video is gonna be about. Yes, it's about target individuals and sickness or diseases given to us to stop us from life purpose. Okay, and yeah, just I'd rather say that so I remember what I was going to talk about next time, because you know I wing things. I have not written anything. I just kind of went out of my head now, and I kind of told you what I wanted to say, and I hope this makes sense. Okay, if you have any feedback, I would love to hear about it in the comment section, and yeah, advice, whatever, you know, whatever you think is helpful, greatly appreciated. All right, take care.